right, guys, we are live. MDK Elite Coaching Call. Me and my boy, everybody's bugging me now, man. As soon as I go live, the phone starts ringing off the hook. It's my boy Doug here. One more person just showed up. I was hoping it was just me and you, Doug.
Man, we gotta come out.
Honus, how you? Jonas,
Hey,
what's up, brother? I
hey,
seen you
what's up,
for.
bro? Hey,
Hey, man, I seen you for a second. You turned your video off. You scared of me and Doug? What's up?
uh, actually, I didn't.
Camera shy.
Hey, guys. Actually, I didn't know it was like more interactive, and I'm cooking for my daughter.
Oh man, don't worry about it. You can do whatever you want, little brother. You can hit mute or turn off the camera and listen, and
Yes,
time it
sir.
when you want to. Yeah,
Sounds good, brother. So I'm here,
yeah,
okay?
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Andrew's been bugging me, man, because Andrew stays up at freaking midnight. I mean, I think he gets out of bed to go get behind the camera. His birthday was last week, a couple of days ago. So if you guys are tuning in, whenever you're tuning in, I'm gonna talk about the prices. The bug guy that came over to the house, the airplane ride I went on this weekend, and the marketing employee that one of my dudes hired that I don't think he should hire. I ain't even gonna call his name out, but he knows who I'm talking about. But before that, hey Doug, so hey man, when you get back down to Chattanooga, I mean, because I've seen you had a couple of people reaching out to you in Chattanooga. Do you have anything lined up, or are you just gonna start, hitting it when you get back down there?
No, I've got a few things lined up. Like I've got some, like I've got most of September and half of October.
Oh shit! I like that.
But I'm trying to get. What's months out ahead? Guys, man, it's just you could easily book 8 months out. Shit, you can't handle it so much.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to be like you, run six jobs a day, 4,000 foot, 2,500 foot.
I did that because I think you've seen that video. I did that video in Dust Life live talking about that. One talking about prices, and then one talking about picking up the jobs and all that shit is man, if I can get 10 jobs today, I'm gonna try to get all 10 jobs done today. I want the money right now. I don't want to scale it. I don't want to scale 10 jobs out throughout the month. Doug will be back with us in a little bit. But so what I talked about last week was prices. And a couple of guys reached out to me. One reached out behind the scenes, but yeah, our prices fluctuate. It's the law of supply and demand. Doug's back. Hey, Doug, that one I was talking about booking the jobs is, man, if I can get 5 jobs booked in a day, I'm going to book them. And then, we got 2 or 3 in-house crews, and then the rest I'll give to my subs. And people talk about hiring subs. I mean, and that's all in the training manuals and hiring people. That doesn't change. But yeah, I mean, my daughter's pretty lucky only because there's like 4, probably more than that. I mean, there's 6 or 7 guys we could reach out to, only because, I've helped them since the early 90s. They've all worked with me. I've trained them personally, and then I train them on the business, and they go on and do their own thing. Most of them left when I sold my first company. 3 of them left, 2 of them stayed behind, and none of them came back with me when I did the second company. But when I sold the second company, I think 2 of them left and 2 of them stayed behind. But I've known these guys forever. I'm not a dick. I'm a jerk online, but in person, we all remain friends forever. I just want those guys to do the best that they can forever. And they help me, and shit, they'll get a big job and call me up and say, "Hey man, can you spare a couple of dudes?" And we always try to. Or if we need help, they'll send guys over. But when someone tells me they've got jobs lined up for the next 8 months, I'm like, I just don't understand that, unless it's a new build and they need you in 8 months. But rather than that, if you're booking every job, to me, you're not charging enough. It's like I'm a firm believer in charging. Is every time someone asks how much should I charge, my answer never changes. As much as the homeowner is willing to pay. How do you know how much they're willing to pay? I keep upping the ante. I keep upping the ante until they say no, or they're going to tell me is like, my God, you're $3,000 more than the other dude, and then we'll do something to negotiate the price. My price is never written in stone. I see so many business. They're not business guys. They're wannabe business guys, contractors who say my price is my price, and if they don't like it, they can walk. Nobody wants to hear that. I don't like it. It's no one wants to be told no. That's inherited. That's the mental side of personal development. We don't like no, period. From little kids all the way up, you just don't like to be told no. Even when you're dealing with children, and I don't give no advice on being a dad, none. But when you're dealing with children, you know it's not a good thing to always no. You need to explain how it can get to a yes, that kind of stuff. That's what we do. And I've been to so many sales seminars, and I've read so many sales books, and I've given so many sales seminars. Another dude that's in a painting contractor, we were last week we were talking about some different sales seminars, and he was asking me which sales books to read, and I gave him a list of about probably 6. And I told him, it's like, but after going through all of them, I don't adhere to any of them really. My whole thing still always comes back to building a relationship with them as quickly as possible. I know Victor's on here right now, and that's his number one thing is he's never doing sales. But if you talk to him more than 2 minutes, you're going to feel like you've known him for friggin' 2 months, 2 years, 20 years. You're going to feel like you're friends. And I wrote in my notes today, the bug guy. So I'll bring that up right now. Is we had a bug guy come out here to the ranch to give us an estimate, look around and spray some stuff, do some things. And later that afternoon, my daughter said, "Hey man, you would have been proud of this guy. It seems like he bought one of your manuals." I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Man, you could have went down the list and checked off the box." He goes like, he called 30 minutes before he showed up, let us know he was going to be there, asked if we needed anything. I said, "No, he didn't." And she goes, "Yes, he did. And when he got out of the car, he had dog snacks." And then he walked around doing all of his things and noticed a whole bunch of what is it? Not the cartoon books. What those books that Marvel and all those they make? What are they called?
Comic
Yeah,
books.
the comic books. So yeah, we got one wall in our game room. One wall is nothing but comic books. So they sit there and talked about comic books for about 15 minutes, and she said she felt like they were best friends by the time he left. She said he went through the whole line, and as soon as he left, everybody was talking about, hey, we need to reach back out to him and see if he's ready to change professions. Because you guys heard me talk about employees. Is you hire the attitude, you hire the personality. You don't hire the knowledge. You can give them the knowledge. Someone like that who already has the personality, who's already doing the right things, they can follow the script. They can show up with me for a month or two, go on two estimates a day, maybe six a week, and just listen to how I talk to the homeowner and learn the hardwood floor business. The two things that make me outsell my competition, and any of these guys that I hire as subs, they've been with me long enough. They're probably just as good as I am, maybe better, depending on because I'm not in the game every day, but is one, I just make a relationship, period, no matter where I'm at. And Victor is the same way. It doesn't matter if I'm at a restaurant or if I'm at freaking buying supplies at Ganal Lumber, cash register. It doesn't matter. I'm striking up a conversation and building a relationship instantly. Always. I'm always doing that. So that's going to give me the advantage over to someone who's not doing that. And then the biggest advantage is I'm going to be able to give them the history of their house just by looking at their floor. I'll tell them more about their house and their neighborhood by looking at their floor than most guys can. And then I'll go through the floor, the hardwood flooring, the history of it, this and that. And I always tell them, and it's not a sales pitch. I don't care who you use. And Victor will do the same thing. It's like, I don't care who does your floor, who does the installation, who does the repair. who does the refinishing. You can always reach back out to us. We have no problem answering questions if someone else is even doing your job. We just want to make sure that you have the best experience possible, because we want you to refer hardwood flooring to all of your friends. And I mean that. I want the industry to grow. And when you guys see me online talking shit to these guys in all these Facebook groups asking how to do stuff, and I'm like, dude, go get a job and be an apprentice, learn the trade, or learn business and hire someone who already knows the trade. Because every job me, one of my guys, or someone else ruins and messes up in hardwood floors, that homeowner and all of their friends are going, shit, we should have went with tile. We should have went with that LVP. This is like blah, blah, blah. This doesn't hold up. This is crap. Like, and I don't want that. I'm like, hey, man, if you hire someone and they're not doing something right, call me up. Let me walk you through it. Let me talk to them. Let's make it right. Because I want your experience with hardwood flooring to be what you refer. I don't care. I prefer it be us, but that's not my interest. My interest is refer the hardwood flooring. Tell everybody, stay away from tile, stay away from carpet, stay away from linoleum, stay away from LVP, any of that other shit. Get hardwood flooring. That's the goal. That should be the goal for all of us. That's why I want everyone in this industry, and in any industry, not just flooring, but if you're a roofer, that's how you should feel about roofing. If you're a painter, that's how you should feel about painting. If you're in the car business, auto mechanics, that's how you should feel about auto mechanics. If you're getting work done on your car, auto repair, that's how we get these fucking reputations. You ask somebody about having their car worked on, and you're going to hear nine horror stories. Oh man, auto mechanics always going to rip you off. They're going to tell you this and do that. That shit comes for a reason. With general contractors, the same thing. They're going to ask for the deposit. They're not going to show up. They're going to be there. They're going to do the bait and switch. I remember as a kid, 26 years old, the guy hit me with bait and switch. I'd never heard that term, but after he hit me with it, I understood what he meant, and I couldn't have felt any worse. And it was because, and I don't know, maybe the sales guy was lying to me, but we showed up at this was like, shit, if I was 26 and I'm 60 years now, you guys do the math, I ain't gonna do it. But we showed up, all the furniture was in these freaking containers outside. We come in with chainsaw or freaking skill saws and everything else, and we're demoing all this floor and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at my watch and I'm looking outside. Watch, man, we didn't have no cell phones back then with clocks on them. And I'm thinking, man, this wood should be here already. And I'm calling the distributor and I'm calling my sales rep, and he's like, oh, Brian, man, that stuff is like backed up by 3 months. And I wanted to throw up. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, dude, you better get over here, because I ain't telling this to the homeowner. I'm a kid. I don't know how to handle this. And now, I'm trying to tell this homeowner this, and there's a handful of other material that's almost the same that we could use it. And the homeowner's he was as upset as I would have been, with all the right reasons. And he's like, bait and switch, bait and switch, bait and switch. And I'd never heard of it. I'm like, what is bait and switch? He's like, yeah, you say whatever it takes to sell the job, and as soon as you get the money, now you don't got the money, the material, you got to bait me and switch. And I was like, damn, that's exactly what I did. I didn't mean to do it, but we did it. And I made sure that never happened again. I'm like, no, we do not start we don't move furniture. I don't even let the homeowner move furniture until I physically have my hands on the material. None of that. Oh man, it's sitting over here. All I got, you say the word, I'm gonna deliver it. I'm like, no. that ain't ever happening to me again. And but you don't want to go through that crap. But yeah, with the prices, I'm always raising and lowering the prices depending on how busy we are. I want everybody to stay as busy as we can. You guys have heard me say over and over again, as a man supporting a family, as a man going out hunting, bringing food back to feed the family, your job every day is to leave the house and come back with profit. The better you are at that, the more profit you get to come home with. And saying, oh, this is my price, take it or leave it. Oh, okay, let everybody starve. Let your guys not work and have to call somebody like me so they can continue to work every day. It's better to work 5 or 6 days a week for $25 an hour, and to work 2 days a week for $30 an hour. you got to be consistent.
So now you have a limit on that though, right? Like, I mean, you wouldn't go below. I mean, your prices are great, but you wouldn't go below like $5 a foot, right?
Um, as a company, I'm never going to lose money,
Yeah,
but there's been times to where uh, we didn't make we made just enough money to pay for the Google ads and the
the
bills.
labor. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the labor is always paid. I mean,
yeah.
uh, because as a business owner, and you've heard me say it over and over, Doug, is you got to be your company has to be fat cash happy. So you've got to be able to get through the lean times. So I don't want to take my savings. The businesses, any money that comes in belongs to the business. It doesn't belong to me. So if that job didn't bring in enough money, all the money comes in. It's going to always bring in enough money to pay the utilities and pay the employees and keep them busy and keep them happy. If I have to go low enough that it doesn't pay me, so be it. That rarely happens. But I'm not going to say no to a job and let my guy stay at home. Um, I'm always taking care of the guy.
Probably fine for a while. Let me.
But that kind of stuff happens in the beginning when you're building a business, not not 3, 5, 7 years later after you've already established yourself. I may not make as much profit as I want every now and then, but like the jobs that we had this week, I mean, they're all fantastic. But this year has been the slowest it's been since 2008 when the bottom dropped, and I don't know why. But we still, we've stayed. We just haven't been as crazy busy as I want to be. I mean, I like 4, 5 jobs a week going consistently. But with that, and me and you've talked about it, Doug, is like, shit. I don't want to work as hard as it takes to make $1 million a year every year.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want to make enough to live comfortable, pay my bills, and spend the rest of the time with my family. PBD said something the other day, because I've always said that we always say as men, as business owners, as contractors, we always say, oh man, I'm making all these sacrifices for my loved ones, when in reality it's our loved ones that are being sacrificed. Meaning, we're working 80, 90 hours a week, trying to bring home the money to support our family. But in reality, hopefully they love you and they want you around. But PBD had said, as a dad, I forgot, man, I should have wrote it down. It's you're raising your children, you're doing for people to do without you when you can't do without them or something. It made a lot of sense. It's like, we're doing all this stuff to raise our children and provide, and I'm building this business. So everybody around me, I want everybody around me to be able to live the lifestyle without me, in case something happens to me that I'm gone. When in reality is like, it's all of them that I can't do without. And the way and it's all true. And it's something you could sit around and have a drink about and talk about, but it is like, that's the whole thing. That's the whole purpose behind all the manuals and shit, is like, if something happened to you, you don't want financially, it's going to be bad enough that you're out of their life. You don't want them to have to do without financially. You want them to continue to be able to run the business so that money is not what they're worried about. And man, so many times I see people, just in my own families, my relatives and stuff, is like, they all hit you up with the GoFundMe. So-and-so passed away. We need money to bury it. I'm like, shit, you need money to bury him. How you paying bills? How you eating? How you doing that? What? It's like, it's the same story over and over again. I posted something the other day, like that dumbass that I was talking to this weekend, going back and forth, raising my blood pressure. And he's talking, if you can't get me no work, you racist. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? and I've seen over the last year, I'd seen like 3 other posts of him calling people racist, and I just believed him. And then he hit me up with that. I'm like, shit. And then immediately I thought, well, man, you've been lying about that shit all year, little dumbass. But it's like, it's the way you treat people. You got to build that business so it runs without you. And talking about the marketing, leads me into my little notes that I had down here about the airplane. So I went. My buddy took me flying. We flew over to Catalina and have breakfast. And this dude makes. He just retired, and I think I did a picture of the American flag that he had in the frame that he gave me on one that he had flew on one of his last missions. But shit, man, he was making 100,000 a month, a million a year. But he's always away from the family and stuff. And now he has him and his wife have a business, and they got like 160 employees. And and the whole flight over there, we're laughing about all the shit that we go through with employees and people not showing up, and like one lady leaving because he has these homes that they take care of people who need to be taken care of. And one of the girls was leaving at night, going to hang out with her boyfriend, and she got called. But she was like, "Oh, I had a cold, and I just ran to CVS to get some medicine." It's like it's just always something. It's like that book I told you guys about. If you're going to be in business, you're going to have problems. If you don't want no problems, don't have a business. Go work for somebody. But I was talking about all the shit that I had to go through. But that airplane thing, and he keeps bugging me about taking the test and getting my pilot license and all this other shit. And I'm like, and I really don't. I mean, maybe I will, but he's been flying since he was 3. Because his dad's a pilot, so he's always been over there. So now he's 56 or whatever. And when he gives me the real flight lessons, he has something like our manuals that we walk around the plane and you check everything off every time, no matter what, and for good reason. Because you don't want to crash. You crash, not only do you get hurt, but everybody underneath you gets hurt. And then you're looking at all the instruments and you're going down the manual, you're going through the list. And even now, as many times as he has done it, and I don't know how many times, millions of times he's done it, but he still does it. He doesn't need the manual anymore, even though he'll kind of hold it, but he knows everything that he's supposed to look at. He'll, and it's that whole check, do it, check, do it, check. Even before he turns the key, he'll open up the little window and clear, and then hit and we're in his backyard. There ain't nobody else around. And I'm like, Mike, who the fuck you yelling clear to? There ain't nobody here. And he's like, and he starts laughing. He goes, man, it's just what we do. It's happy. It's like, and I'm like, man, I get it. Because I've been on a couple of estimates lately. And out of the 10 estimates I did, 3 of them, I think I just, got into talking to the homeowner, doing that bullshit that I do, and left without doing the video. And I want to kick myself in the ass because that video is so freaking important for us. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's like, I because I'm out of the game, right? So I'm telling myself, it's like, dude, and myself, I'm telling myself, dude, you got to walk around with the fucking manual, just like Mike does. Because that, I'm telling you, man, that video that we do, man, that's everything. Everybody in the office knows what the job is. When we, like when I sent the guys out to Palm Springs, I didn't go at there. We send them the video so they know exactly what it is. I go outside. I show them where the panel box is in the video, so they know where that is. They're not walking around looking at everything. It just makes a difference. It's like, and Doug, because you do estimates. So when you've been there and you walked around, everything. If it's been a while, even you who walked the job, you show up and you go, God dog it, I forgot about that, or I forgot about this, or I knew I was supposed to bring this, or I knew I was supposed to bring that. And we'll do job, we'll give an estimate and do a job a month later, or sometimes it'll be a year later. And when it's 6 months or a year later, I'm like, and my daughter said, well, you're the one who went out there and looked at it. I was like, well, send me the video. And as soon as I see the address or I'll look up the picture, I kind of remember, but the video tells you everything. So when we send it to the subcontractors or even the project manager, if he's not the one who went and gave the estimate, it just makes a difference, man. You know what paper to take, what putty to take, how much plastic, if you need a toe kick edger, everything, all of it. And again, if this was 1995, shit on 2000. But if we didn't have the cell phones and the videos, yeah, using the camcorder and doing all that crap, we did not do it. I did the video testimonials and I made the content videos with the camcorder, uploaded them to the computer, used this program called Pinnacle, and had to do all this crap. It was, but now, man, there's absolutely positively no reason except for being stupid and talking to the homeowner like I do and forgetting to make the video. And we usually and we do the pictures. But if I forget the pictures, it's not a big deal because the homeowner has already sent most of the pictures that we need. We just like the video because it's everything, man. We're walking around taking videos of everything. The walls, the chips in the walls, any tiles that are broke, everything. But it's that airplane mentality. And my buddy flew when he used to work, but he flew the drones. So, and even the drones, he tells me the mission may have been a 4-hour mission or a 6-hour mission. He said, Brian, if it's a 4-hour mission, we're spending 2.5 hours on the briefing, meaning we're all sitting around this table and we're talking about what the mission is. And we're going through everything. We're going to do this. We're going to take off at this time. We're going to do that. Every little detail there. It's all written down. Everybody's got their copy of what the mission is. It's all in detail. Everybody has it. It's like a manual. They're talking about it. And they're going over it. They go over it for like 2 hours and then they go and they do the mission, and the mission may be 4 hours, 5 hours. And then they go back to that same room and they do the demission. Just like you guys have heard me say, because when he told me this years ago, I was like, man, I do the same thing with the estimate for the office, the estimate for the homeowner, but then we do our own estimate. And I've got videos talking about this all the time. It's like I used to make an estimate for myself. This is what we're going to get done the first day. This is how much material we're going to use. This is how much labor is going to cost me. The second day, we're going to be done on the third day. This is going to be this, and we're going to get this much done. But it's all planned out, just like he's talking about. And then we do it. And then every day I'm tracking it. That tracking sheet that most of you guys have, the daily activity sheet, that's another one that between the video and that sheet of paper, to me, those are gold. Oh man, they're gold. Both of them are so important. But we do it, and then we have the after sheet. We do the debriefing, and I look at my before and sheet, and I look at my after sheet, and I say, where did I mess up? Why did I think I was going to get this much done, but I didn't? How come I thought it was going to cost me, didn't? But I made, boom, and that's how. And especially these guys that are asking how much you charge, It's like, dude, you should know that, man. And if you do that before sheet, the after sheet, you're within 3 jobs, you'll know your numbers by heart. Doesn't mean you don't want to do it, because you always want to be fine tuning it and making more profit. It doesn't get out of hand because of our daily activity sheet. That's another one. 100% positively, absolutely no reason not to do that daily activity sheet. Doug, because you got a copy of it. I don't know if you use it or not, but if you use it, it literally takes less than 10 minutes. Am I right?
Yeah. It doesn't take any time. And then, at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't take any time because most crews run 2 to 3 guys, so it doesn't take 3 guys to clean up. One guy could be doing the sheet.
That's it, man.
Even if it's 2 guys, one guy could do the sheet. It only takes a couple minutes.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, I'm gonna go get the sheet. I'm gonna do the daily activity sheet. Start cleaning up. Boom. You out at the van. You're filling it out. Took a picture. Emailed it. Texted it to the office. Email it to the office. You back in there helping them clean up. Boom.
Do your subs use the sheets as well?
The subs don't. We give them to them just for their sake. I'm like, dude, because most of my subs are guys that I've helped build their business. So most of the stuff they kind of have anyway. The daily activity sheets are like 3 years, 4 years new anyway. When my daughter got back, said, hey, I'm going to do this. I said, all right, well, there's some things that you should be doing different than I did. That's going to help you make more profit. And that was one of them. The videos are one of them. And then, he fills out the activity sheet, goes in, helps finish cleaning up, 2-minute video, boom, upload to YouTube. And everybody's got the link, and it's all good. And I like it because I can be anywhere and I just jump on Facebook or look at YouTube, and I can see exactly what they're getting done. The girls in the office, they go in the next day, they see that activity sheet, and they know we're either going to be on schedule or we're not. The homeowners updated if we're not going to be on schedule. If we're going to be done early, the homeowner's notified, and then we're calling the next project. Hey, we thought we were going to be done Friday. We're going to be done Wednesday, so we can start your job Thursday instead of Monday. If that works for you, you tell us. But we know, we know what we're going to be done. We know the profit. There ain't no guessing it at the end of it, figuring out what happened. None of that. So that's that whole airplane mentality. And I don't scuba dive. I was down there in the Florida Keys with Ryan. We did a lot of snorkeling, and I do love snorkeling. So I'd like to try scuba diving. But the scuba diving guys, kind of the same way. They're always logging shit away. They got their log for how long they've been under the water and all this other stuff, because if not, you'll get sick and you can only go down so many. I mean, you're just keeping track. And in personal development and trying to get the most out of your life, you want to keep track of everything. Years ago, people used to keep a diary, women more than men. But I started keeping, we didn't call them diaries. My mentor and friend, Jim Rome, always called it a journal. You're always keeping a journal. You're always keeping a journal. You're writing it down. You're writing it down. It's like, how you doing? Like, if you ask Jim Rome something, and his first thing is going, I don't know, give me your journal. I'll answer that. So you got to where you wouldn't ask him anything because he's going to ask you to turn over your journal, and he's going to be able to answer the question by looking back over the last 3 months of your life and telling you where you messed up. So you knew. So you got to the point to where it's like you started keeping track of your own life, and then you would be able to know. And most people don't. This dude right here, if y'all look on the screen, Carl says good stuff. But as soon as we finish today, I will upload everything. But Carl is going to be our guest on our MDK business podcast Tuesday. I thought we was going to do it Monday because he usually takes Monday off, but he said he could do it Tuesday. So, and that's when we normally do it. But that dude's got a great business, a great story. Did you see the video I did, Doug, where he made the whole pond in this backyard of this guy? He's got the waterfall, got this freaking cave that you can walk. The waterfall is, I mean, just everything. And I think he's moving his employee to the pay per performance. Remember you were talking about it, and Tommy, that's how he does it. Yeah, performance pay, and Carl's moving all his guys over to it. But yeah, that's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that. And the reason I reached out to him is because of everything we just talked about, the videos. In my little community over here, he had posted that video of that water pond and some other stuff that he's done, and I'm like, man, this is a dude that gets it. I want to get him on the podcast so these guys hear it from somebody else besides me. Make videos. Sheesh. But that's what that was. So this last thing before we get out of here, and I don't have to say his name, but I've got a guy who hired a marketing. He hired an employee just for marketing. It's his country. It's his country. It's his company. He can do whatever he wants. I wish JB Taylor was on here from Folsom, Alabama down there. And Doug, you may be able to answer this because I know JB could answer it because I've screamed it so many times. But if a contractor or a business owner comes to me, says he has a part-time helper, but he's looking to hire somebody, who is the first person I say you should hire for your company, Doug?
Office manager.
Boom! Boom, 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 boom. Yes. And this guy didn't hire an office manager. He hired this dude to do marketing. And that's okay later on. Because what you're paying someone to run marketing and what they're doing, you could be hiring a office manager who could do everything this person is doing, because the office manager is the key to growing your business. The office manager is the lady who's saying, hey, Doug, the guys didn't turn in that daily activity sheet. Hey, Doug, the guys didn't upload that video. And she's telling you, but she's calling the project managers. Hey, where's the video? Boom. Hey, where's the daily activity sheet? The office manager, and yes, it's a she. She's doing all that. She's building the rapport with the new clients. She's asking for the pictures. She's going over the prices. She's putting out fires. She's talking to them and calming them down before she gets to you, the owner. She's the gatekeeper. She's everything. She's going through these manuals and customizing them for your company, going, hey, some of that stuff Brian does doesn't apply to you. Here's what he's doing, but here's what I think we can do. We can change it, make it this. She's getting the videos. She can edit the videos a little bit, especially if she's working 6 to 8 hours. Most of them are only going to be working 6 hours. Most of them can work from their own home with technology today. So, I mean, the Facebook post, the Instagram post, which most marketing guys are going to consider, hey, I posted on your Google business profile today. That's marketing. And it is. I posted on your Facebook page today. That's marketing. And it is. I did your TikTok. But one, you can get a VA to do that in the Philippines and give them 50 cents. Or something like that. It's cheap. But your office manager can really learn that crap. Because if you're paying them for 6 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is, the phone's not ringing consistently for 6 hours. So they're sitting there. They're going through these manuals, customizing them. They're going through the numbers, but there's a lot of downtime. So they're watching, and you're paying them to educate them on how to edit the videos a little bit, because videos don't need to be edited. The more raw and real, the better. But they can cut them down. They can plug them into Opus and get some shorts and put it on TikTok, put it everywhere. Do all the hashtags. They can go to AI, whichever one you want to use, and get the taglines and the hashtags, and they can go to YouTube and that's what's good about Carl too, because Carl's on his YouTube channel. I mean, that dude getting 30,000 views, 60,000 views, and I get like 60 because he's using all the correct taglines and he's doing the shit that you're supposed to be doing. But your office manager, she's sitting there for 4 hours anyway, 6 hours anyway. They can be doing that. Because I'm sure if you're hiring a marketing guy, your marketing guy isn't going through these manuals. Your marketing guy isn't checking up on your project manager, saying blah, 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 and doing all the follow-up. Your marketing guy isn't going to be the one answering the phone, building that relationship, all of that. And it could be a marketing girl. They're both gay jobs. I can say that because I'm a marketing guy. But whatever it is, it is. And some people, for whatever reason, want to be the one answering the phone. And maybe they feel like answering the phone for new leads is that important. And it is. And that's why I'm not a fan of AI answering it. And trust me, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars this year having AI answer a lot of phones. So my AI is the best of the best, and I'm still not a fan of it. They just they'll never answer the phone like my girls in the office do. And shit, Doug, I'm with you, man. If I could get the price down and answer the phone for 5 or 6 companies, that's what I think you should do. Is find a service that does that.
Make sure I'm on that list, man.
Yeah, but your daughter is phenomenal at it. Her sweet voice and the way
I had to cut down those hours because I mean she was spending 5 hours, but it's like she wasn't doing the office manager stuff. Like everything, I need this video because everything you just said, I gotta send it over to her.
No, I get it. And that's the like if it was my company and I was hiring my daughter, I don't know what kind of relationship we'd have, because I'd be screaming at everything. Because right now I just say, hey, these are suggestions to grow your business. You want to make more money? Do this. You want to make more money? Do this. If you don't, here's what's going to happen. And it's up to you guys. And they do 30% of what I say. To where if they were my employee, I would want 80% of it done. So it'd be extremely freaking frustrating. And it's still frustrating. I make them watch these videos and over and over again. Because a lot of times when I do these videos with you guys, I'm screaming to you guys about shit that I scream to them at all week. Going, hey, it's like, it's like, nothing. I mean, like, if you show up to me on August the 1st and I say, drop down and do as many push-ups as you can, and you give me 20 push-ups, my buddy Jim Rohn says, and you tell me that's all you can do, and by the look on your face, I agree. That's about all you can do. But I say, hey, August the 1st, September the 1st, you're gonna do 40 push-ups, and here's how you're gonna do it. And I give you a set of instructions on what to do daily and what to eat. Come on. September the 1st, you're going to do 50 push-ups easy. If you get down and do 25, I know you didn't do what you're supposed to do. It ain't rocket science. None of this is rocket science. None of this is it's all simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple because it's 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. It's in these manuals. If you do the manuals step by step, and they don't have to be my manuals, you can create your own manuals. You can do, but you have to have the system where you do the same thing over and over and over again. There's a dude online that I've been friends with online for over 20 years, and his name is Todd Falcon. And I may send this to him because he's a network marketing guy, and that's how I know him from my years in network marketing. But that's all he does. He teaches and network marketing people. But that's the whole thing, man, is you have a system. You have a system for right now, the numbers, the names, how you call them, what you do with the follow-up. It's just systematic. It's just, you do it over and over and over again. That same airplane mentality, the whole, here's what we're going to do in the mission. We do the mission. We do the debriefing. What did we do? And you do it over and over again. And if you leave it to chance, Albert Einstein, the second greatest mind of our time, number one is Elon. I'm giving it to Elon, and then I'm saying Einstein. But Einstein said, I don't try to remember anything I can write down. Period. I don't try to remember anything that I can write down. Write it down. Writing it down, and I mean physically writing it down. Typing may work, but I know physically writing it down is like a direct line to the subconscious mind. You can write down a list of 25 things that you need to get from the grocery store, and you're going to write down that list because you don't want to buy stuff that you don't need and do impulse shopping on your emotions. So all you're going to buy is what's on that list. So you write down that list, 25 things. You may leave, get in the car, get to the grocery store, and realize that you left that list at home. Out of those 25 things, you will remember 20 to 22 of them, if not all of them. Guaranteed. So when it's written down, and I've told you guys, I don't make these manuals for me. If I'm in the game every day, I'll remember it. But like I said, I'm not in the game every day, so I need the manuals myself. But they're not for me. I've done this for 40 years, over and over and over again. You could wake me up out of a dead sleep at 3:30 in the morning, and I could tell you everything. I wouldn't have to go to the manuals and read it. The manuals aren't for you. You should already know it. Like you know how to refinish the floor blindfolded, Doug. Blindfolded. The manual, the instruction on refinishing the floor that you write down step by step in detail is for the guy that you just hired. That way you're going to tell him you're going to be there.
That's my next video, Brian.
Yes, and then you just don't give him the manual and say, hey, do it. He can learn that shit on YouTube. You walk him through it. You do it again. Boom. And you're side by side. He messes up a little bit. You correct him. Boom. And then he's done it. He should be able to do it. You've done it with him 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. Now you're somewhere in the Bahamas or something. If something happens and he doesn't remember, he's going to go to this manual. He's going to open it up and he's going to go, that's what it was. That's what Doug said. That's that little thing I remember. It's that one little thing. It's going to be there. All of these manuals, all of the instructions are for the people that follow me. Is that you or somebody else? Yeah, maybe somebody
What
turned
is
it off.
it?
Yeah, these manuals are for the people that you hire so they can do everything the way you want them, the way you want it to be done, the way you know that it works over and over and over again, so that you can do the same thing over and over again and get the same output, the same result. That's what it's about. Anybody, that's the whole thing is you figure out how to talk to a homeowner to where you can sell 8 out of the 10 jobs that you present. So you do that over and over and over again. Now you've got statistics to where you know if you do 10, if you bid 10 jobs, you're going to get 8 of them because you're doing everything the same way over and over again. And it doesn't start with showing up at their house. It starts with all of these videos I tell you guys to have on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and your YouTube channel, your website and your Google Business Profile. Somebody just told me. Oh, shit, Charlie. Where's Charlie? Here he is. Hey, Charlie. I hope you're still here. Didn't you tell me you went out to somebody's house and they were almost trying to make you dinner because they felt like you were the celebrity that showed up off the internet in all the videos that you do. He said he almost felt a little he almost felt a little bashful. Victor. There he is.
That line, no kidding. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he showed up and he was like, he showed up and he was a celebrity and they were like, and it's true. I mean, it's one, they will have watched so many of your videos that you don't even know about. What's he say? Because he ain't online. I don't know why his ass ain't online. Yes, I will be doing their floor next week. Or you did their you did their floor last week, or you're going to be doing it next week. But yeah, you should tell us that story. Because when he was telling me about it, I was laughing because so many times I show up and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the video guy," and I'm like, "Oh my God," and I always blame it on my wife, and it's semi true, but it is. I mean, I show up and they'll ask me shit, and I'm like, "How the hell do you know that?" And it's like it's somewhere. It's in one of my damn videos, me blabbing too much, but they feel like they know you. And it's the same because they're watching their when I'm doing presentations from stage, I build if I'm doing a 45-minute presentation from stage, I will spend out of that 45-minute presentation, I'll spend the first 12 to 16 minutes, nothing to do with the presentation, everything to building a relationship with the audience. And I can't know anything about them because they're not talking to me, but I can share deep personal stuff about myself with them and open myself up to them, which endears them to me. And just by doing that, they feel like they know me. And within 15 minutes, we've got a connection and a personal relationship to where we feel like we know each other deeply. And now I can get into the material that I'm getting, the content that I'm getting ready to share with them. Because as cliche as it is to hear an old saying is, no one cares what you know until they know how much you care. And it's as cliche as it is, it's so true. If I show up on stage, they introduce me and I start going through my numbers, I start going through my shit, that's all it's going to be is facts and data. I'm going to spend that first 15, 20 minutes building a relationship with them. And then I'm going to go, hey, now that we're best friends, I know some things about business that's going to help you guys grow. And they're going to listen. And then I'm going to, throughout the whole presentation, I'm going to weave in emotion, sadness. I'm going to weave in laughter, and I'm going to keep their emotions like peaked. I'm going to know when they're getting ready to laugh. I'm going to know when they're getting ready to cry, because what comes next is going to stick in their memory. This is behind the scenes shit that you guys don't know about. If I can get you laughing, I know you're going to perk up. You're going to stay awake. And I can hit you with something because you're in that high peak emotional state. You're laughing and crying, which you think is a low emotional state, but it's not. It's higher than laughing. when I've got you sad and brought you to tears and I hit you with something, it's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. You wouldn't be able to forget it if you wanted to. If you had a puppy, if you were 7 years old and you had a puppy that you got for Christmas and it got ran over 2 days later, you will never forget that. It's too much emotional that shocks you immediately, and so many neurons fire off in the brain. You can go to as many psychiatrists and brainwashing doctors and hypnotists as you want to. They'll never be able to erase that shit. Tony Robbins wouldn't be able to erase it as good as he is. What he would do is he would get you into a different state to where he would change that emotion to something different so that it didn't bring sadness. It would, when you thought about the puppy, it would bring in the joy that you had for those 2 days. Tony can do that. I say all of that to say because he's coming to Orange County sometime in the next couple of months, and I'm trying to talk my daughter into going, and she's all against it, which frustrates the hell out of me because I don't know how many more live events Tony is going to do. People will fly into Orange County from all over the world to be at this event, Date with Destiny. And when Tony's gone, there will never be another one like him. Never. And my wife here hates to hear it. You're going to fall into a cult. And I'm like, no, man, it's just the dude is real. And he learned from Jim Rome. So I love it even more. He just took the shit that Jim Rohn taught him, and he mixed it in with the NLP, which I'm a little bit of a fan of. But then he mixed in his own stuff. I mean, he's done it for over 40 years daily. I mean, he eats, sleeps, and drinks the stuff. I mean, he's 20 hours a day. That's all he does. Shit, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, he'll bring a lady on stage and have her talk and walk her through, and she'll have an orgasm on stage just through the memory of experiencing, one of her most favorite intimate, memories. And then some. I think the first night too, you walk across the hot coals, the fire, and those are all tricks. And my daughter's like, well, I can break boards, and I'm like, get out of here with that shit. But it's if you got a chance to see Tony, it's worth it. All right, guys, as always, it's a pleasure. Hey, Victor, you want to say, Victor, before we get out of here? Doug, anything you want to say? And Jonas, I'm gonna unmute you if anything Jonas wants to say. I think everybody is off of mute. Jonas has got a baby. That's why we do everything right there, Jonas. That baby. That's the only
I just finished feeding her while I was listening to you guys.
Yeah. And hey, Jonas, you're in where you at? Florida?
No. I am in North Carolina. I am in Charlotte area.
Oh man, yeah, shit. I mean, we got to talk. I got a business in Charlotte. I'm looking for a partner, right, Doug?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that. This is a long story from my end. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, Doug. All right. Anybody want to say anything before we get out of here, Victor?
Oh, you nailed everything. I so agree. Oh, great stuff. Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Brian. And Tony's gonna be, I think, with PBD in Miami as well this year.
And I'm trying to personally get to that one. That's going to be. That's what I told my daughter. It's being at Tony's event for 4 days, and they're 16-hour days, right, Victor?
Yeah.
I took Victor. We went. Damn, Victor. When did we go? 20 years ago or longer?
Probably.
Probably 25 years ago. But they're 16-hour days. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's the other people that are there. It's being in that small little airplane, because my buddy just got this new airplane. It's super fast, and you do all these stupid aerobatic shit. Because he used to have a 6-seater, and I was like, Mike, man, why'd you sell the other plane? And he's like, bitch, because I'm the only one flying. He goes, you guys get in here with me once or twice a year. He goes, I'm flying, a couple of times a month. and it's just me. I ain't flying that big ass 6-seater around wasting gas. And I said, no, you got me, man, you got me. But we're in the plane, I don't know, 45 minutes to Catalina, 45 minutes back, but just, but you're having that business mindset conversation. What business this, employees that, what are you doing here, all of that stuff. When you're at these events, whether it's Anthony Robbins' personal development event, more so with PBD or any business event, really, you're in the lobby waiting to get in, but you're talking to guys from all over the world who, they're now I'm usually in the middle, but forever I was down in the lower 5%, 10%, and everybody was way up here that I had conversations to where I was like, shit, I got to find somebody else to talk to. These guys are so way up here. I can't even have a conversation with them. Let me find somewhere else a little bit on the level. But man, you're having conversation, and then shit, there'd be 4 or 5 guys talking business and strategy and everything. I wouldn't even be in the conversation. I'd be outside eavesdropping, just listening to what's going on. It's worth the money just to be in the room with these people. Somehow the neurons, the energy, the vibration in the room, the things that fire off and stick to your own brain, it's nothing like being there. Nothing like being there, being in the room. Any of those events. PVD is going to be good because it's all business entrepreneur mindset with those dudes. All of them. And he did something. He was like, buy a ticket and you get to come down and get a tour of his airplane hangar. I was like, shit, I'll buy a ticket just to do that. Because the last time I seen PBD was probably 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago in Las Vegas. I took my daughter and we went to an event called Grow with Video. Because I'm big on video, and I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna sit here and scream at these guys, use video to grow their business, I need to go to this event. So we spent several $1,000s went. PBD was there. Gary was there. Alex Ramosi was there. And those were the names that drew in people, but all the other guys that were there had just as good, if not better, content. And everybody that I talked to, so 80% of the crowd out of probably 3,000 people, 80% of them were small business owners like me that were using video to grow their business, whether it was a car shop, a lady that does jacuzzis, everybody. I think Anthony is now in Boise, Idaho. I think he has now finally, after years and years and years of me telling him to do a talk show about home improvement, I think he is now doing it. I'm trying to get Ryan to do it. I'm trying to get my daughter to do it. And my wife is like, well, why don't you do it? You're the hardwood floor guy. I said, it ain't my business. I'm doing my own shit. I'm doing MDK 3 days a week. I'm not doing a hardwood floor home show video, but she should do it. Her and her partner should do it. But it looks like Anthony's doing that, and I'm hoping he is. I'm trying to get Victor to do a car repair show. You can start off 15 minutes a week, knock it up to 30 minutes a week, bring guests on if you want. It just makes you the guru of your whatever it is. It goes along with your books that you end up writing. Like with Doug, I would have Doug write 2 books, one for home repair, hardwood floors, and one for gymnasium and sports floors. And you could combine them, but I would rather they be both, 2 separate ones.
2 separate.
Yeah, there's a lot to commercial sports floors that most people don't know about, and homeowners would even love reading it. Because when I talk to them about, and I'll bring that shit up, I always bring up like the reason I went and did that video the other day, because I wanted to be in the video with that $4 million home. Did you see the video, Doug? With the
yes,
view?
yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then I walked through the whole house because I want homeowners seeing that going, oh shit, this dude does those kind of residences.
Exactly. He's already in those houses. Exactly.
Yeah. So I want them seeing that. And then I was there. So I said, well, shit, I'm here. let me do one for the Dust Life guys and talk about, booking, because everybody's like, how much do you charge? How much do you charge? I'm booked out for 8 months. I'm like, my God, man, just don't. But yeah, that's the whole thing. So when I'm if I'm at a homeowner's and if I'm talking to a client, I'll bring up shit like the Getty Museum and how we did that and how we installed it and what we do when we go back, because every 6 months they're moving displays and stuff. And I don't bring it up and go, we did the Getty Museum. I just bring it up. I'll say, oh man, I don't know, like every 6 months we go back to the Getty Museum because when we installed it, we did this and we used white oak quarter sign and we always use a certain kind of commercial grade finish. Or I'll often say, yeah, I'm going to use on your floor the same finish that we use at the Getty Museum. Or I'll bring in, if we'll be talking about something, I'll say, yeah, but when we're doing racquetball rooms, or if we're doing boom, 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 or like if it's a raised foundation or blank, everything, the more knowledge that you can bring in just makes you look like more of the expert in all of the areas.
Absolutely.
Because of the tagline, I tell that you do wood. I was like, look, man, we do wood that you walk on. That's it. It's called only wood floors, but it's wood you walk. If it's wood you walk on, we can do it. Couple of years ago, because my favorite installation still is shit. I was down picking up supplies a couple of days ago because everybody's everywhere. So we got all hands on. I'm picking up some shit, and I walked in, and some dude was talking to another guy. Hey, do you install floors? And I'm just eavesdropping. As I walk by, he goes, would you glue this down? Because I guess a homeowner or something. And I didn't even wait for the dude to answer. And I just walked by going, I wouldn't. Not if it's my house. But the dude was an older dude, and he agreed with me. I said, look, if you talk to some younger dudes, 35 years, I don't know. But I said, most people nowadays will glue down solid 3/4 inch flooring. I said, I wouldn't do it in my house, period. But they do it all day long, every day. And I guess they get away with it. I said, I'm old school. I want to nail that shit down to plywood. But I agree. The glue that I used 20 years ago was designed to work 8 to 10 years, and then it would dry up and become crystallized. It had no flex when the floor would grow and shrink. But even then, we used to glue down shorts because it would, it was able to move and a little bit better than long planks. But we would glue it down with cold tack, which is roofing tar. We would do a thin layer, put down black felt paper, then do a thick layer of cold tack, and then install the floor on top of it. And that shit over 10 years would crystallize, and the floor eventually comes up. But it's kind of all glued together. So after 10, 15 years, all you have is a floating floor. Big deal. And now they install floating floors. So it's all of that shit means something when you're educating homeowners. It just makes you look more of an expert. But my favorite is 2 sheets of 6 mil plastic ran up the wall, 2 sheets of plywood crisscrossed, and then the flooring nailed to the plywood. Nothing penetrates the plastic, best moisture barrier in the world. And it still gives you, not all of that to say this because of your commercial grade sports floor, Doug's, it still gives you a little bit of buoyancy to where you're not walking around on concrete. And when you glue down a floor to concrete, it has to do something to you. Because I tell people, it's like, I don't do it anymore, but if I worked on a floor that was glued down all day long, your knees and your ankles and your back at the end of the day hurt way more than if I'm working on a floor in a house that's on a raised foundation or a sports floor. Isn't that true, Doug?
It's absolutely true.
That's why their racquetball rooms are built that way. That's why basketball courts are built, all of that. So yeah, I would do one book for just sports floors. Makes you look like you're the authority in that area. And I'm trying to get, me and Paul have talked a couple of times. You know Paul, right, Doug, with he does the sports floor. He's the authority. Isn't that his name?
Paul Nelson. Yeah. Paul Nelson.
With from Montana or Wyoming or something. And he's the
Wyoming.
And he's the authority because of the videos.
Because of the videos. I love his videos.
Yeah, because if he didn't do the videos,
I love the table saw. Like, he uses that table saw as his desk. That shit was genius. I don't know if Paul came up with that, but I love it.
And I told him too, he did a video he had a dead spot in his grass at his ranch in Wyoming. And he did this thing to where he took the grass seed and mixed it up into a big bucket with the water. And then, but he did he did some green coloring, and he did a whole bunch of toilet paper, and then mixed it up with like you're mixing up concrete, and so it shredded so it was like this gooey crap with toilet paper, but then it was green, and it had all the grass seed. So then he poured it all over this dead spot, so it immediately looked green and hid the dead spot. And he was like, "Yeah, and the grass is going to start growing, and by the time the grass grows, the toilet paper will dissolve and be gone." And I thought, man, that shit is genius.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be on MDK as soon as we can. But you know, for summer, for you guys, this is you guys' time.
Yeah. He's got no time right now. I mean, he's done a lot with those machines of his too. I mean, I need the family discount on those, but man, those are some nice machines, like well thought out. Like they came from a guy who does sport floors.
Yeah. And and again, it's because he's been doing it for so long every day.
Exactly.
Guys ask me all the time, "Hey man, can you paint sports floors?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I won't." I said, I've painted probably, I don't know, 5 of them over the years. I said, and I did it for my ego. I wanted to be able to say I did it. When it was all said and done, I probably didn't make any money. I'm like, no, man, dudes do that shit. They know how to do it. They can do it like this. They've got all the rollers. They got tape. They know the lines. They're not sitting there trying to figure it out. And it's just like, no, man, hire the professional. If you haven't done it, they say to master something, you're supposed to do it for 10,000 hours. That's and I guess it does kind of come down to that. Like if you get a black belt in martial arts, you round it down, it's probably 10,000 hours, somewhere around there. But you've done it so many times, you can do it in your sleep, and that's when you've mastered it. So maybe a professional comes before a master. So maybe you can become a professional after 5,000 hours. But if you're not the professional, you don't have to be the professional to sell the job.
No.
You need to be the professional at selling the job and be the professional at hiring the professional to do the job. That's how you run it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and then because you can be a professional and sell 10 jobs, you can be a professional and hire someone to do those 10 jobs, and you just one dude.
Yep.
But you can't do all of it at one time, at all the time.
Nope.
So, but that's my little rant. All right, man, I'm gonna get out of here. Tuesday next week. Again, we're going to have Carl on. I'm going to set up everything and start sending out the links and sending out the reminders. Make sure you guys tune in and listen. You'll be able to ask some questions and get it straight from the horse's mouth. His videos, how he gets so many views, all that other stuff. Get Victor on here. I appreciate it, guys. Get out of here. Enjoy the rest of the week. I'll be golfing manana. All right, man. Out of here.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.